All right. Happy Monday, everybody. Welcome back to Marketing Mondays. Last week's webinar on fall foliage was such a treat. So thank you, Kara, for getting us into all the coziness and cozy feelings of the autumn season. I don't have pumpkin coffee, but I do have coffee because it's a little chilly here in Boone today. And this week, we are going to take a look at an often overlooked opportunity with several types of tourism businesses. So that's small group tours and or private experiences. But first, a little bit about us. My name is PJ Werchansky, and I will be presenting today. I'm a full-time communication director at App State and an adjunct, and I oversee PR and marketing efforts for Uplift. And then joining me today is Ms. Kara Treadway, who is our marketing specialist and an expert in many things like marketing and branding and social media, Canva, content creation, list goes on and on. So let's jump right in. So today's blueprint, we are going to be looking at small group tours and private experiences. We will also look at many of those benefits to getting into that. So that could be enhanced customer experiences. It is creating a team of loyal ambassadors. It also can provide increased revenue opportunities, gives you a competitive advantage. And then we're going to talk a little bit about how it meets those needs of our diverse visitors. And then we'll look at some inspiration from some others who are offering those private tours or small group tours. We'll look at our key takeaways, and then we'll save a little bit of time for Q&A. And then, as always, we can hang on for a bit, Kara and I, to set up a time if you all want to meet sometime this week or next week to jump right into something like this. All right. So I'm sure you all remember a few years ago when large entities like museums and attractions were finally allowed to reopen during COVID. So, many opting to limit the number of people that were allowed in at a given time, or maybe even focusing on private tours. So while I think many of us agree that we're thrilled to be out of that stage, there's definitely something to be said for offering small group tours or even private curated experiences. Not only does it allow you to offer those intimate experiences, but also creates loyal ambassadors who are more likely to share your offerings within their network. And whether it's direct word of mouth or social media, you just never know who your big advocate might be. So this is just one of the many benefits of adding small group tours to your list of offerings for your business. So in addition, you elevate your reputation and your brand as it pertains to your customer experiences. And this includes really being able to personalize that experience. So, there's also increased revenue generation, advantages over your competition, attracting a wider range of visitors. And that might include those with special needs or accessibility issues, or could even be international guests. So that's, kind of gets us started. One of the biggest benefits, I think, is that enhanced guest experience. And this is at the heart of private tours. It allows your business to craft experiences that resonate deeply with your guests' individual interests and preferences. So by engaging directly with your customers, it can you guide them, you adapt the narrative and activities to suit those specific tastes depending on the business. So this tailored approach can ensure that visitors leave with lasting memories and definitely a unique story to tell about their trip. So we'll look at a few examples in each of these. So for museums, it might be a private or small tour of a specific exhibit within the museum, or maybe you have a curator joining you, or if it's an art gallery, maybe the artist comes and gives a talk about what inspired them. If you're a local chamber or tourism entity, it also could be an idea to host your monthly networking event or board meeting. And so this can also offer a private experience while getting together with your board. I know I've been part of chambers, and sometimes we get to be the first to go through a new exhibit or something like that, and then also it gives us that cool experience to go and tell others about. If you're a restaurant, many local breweries offer those special behind the scenes tours for special groups or maybe their social media followers. I know several years ago I attended a monthly bottling party for a distillery, It's kind of fun. We got to see behind the scenes. We got to help them bottle. It was a social event for our team. We took our management team there and we sampled whiskey. We helped them bottle. They fed us. So just kind of a cool behind the scenes experience for us. Or maybe on nights where a restaurant is normally closed, whether it's Mondays, Tuesdays, or whatever day it might be, you could offer private chef themed dinners for groups, whatever that number might be, that makes it financially beneficial. People will pay a higher ticket price, especially if they get to meet the chef or have one of those special one-off culinary experiences. If you have wine, you can certainly make some good money off of those types of experiences. And for attractions, if you attended the Visit NC conference a few years back when it was in Durham, they did this really cool experience where they opened up the Durham Bulls baseball stadium for our group. It was a bigger group, but they had this great spread of food and even allowed us to go onto the field for batting practice. If you're a part of maybe a state park, maybe you can offer private hikes or opportunities to volunteer. Maybe there's some special arrangements like early or late access. If you've ever visited a park, maybe they open up at 9 o'clock and wondered, it'd be so amazing to have this park open early for like sunrise or a sunset tour. So just a thought there. Another benefit is creating that team of loyal ambassadors. Guests feel that their tour has been designed specifically for them. It fosters a sense of value and appreciation. This high level of satisfaction can often translate into increased customer loyalty. Visitors are definitely more likely to return to a business that has previously provided them with some sort of exceptional experience, something that's memorable. And additionally, satisfied customers tend to engage more deeply with the brand. And this is something that Kara has covered in some of the other Marketing Mondays. And this leads to repeat visitors and also long-term relationships. And when you've got that deep level of brand affinity, it can also encourage your visitors to maybe support your cause. So it could be something where now your list of donors is increasing because you've offered these private tours. For museums, it could be an opportunity to raise awareness of upcoming fundraising events or exhibitions. If you have annual memberships, guests may choose to purchase passes and come back with friends or family to explore more on their own. And then for restaurants, maybe you've been invited to a private chef-inspired culinary event or a private wine dinner, and then you're likely to share that experience with others. Got to do this really cool wine dinner with one of the winemakers, and now you get to go back and tell all your friends about it. Maybe that experience would encourage you to book your own event. Could be for an anniversary, engagement, or personal dinner, or an annual board retreat. For attractions, maybe you host a special sneak peek event for your annual pass holders so they can be the first in on specific days, maybe like an hour early, or they're invited to a private pass holder only day, beginning or end of the season, and they can bring a guest who's maybe not a pass holder, likely going to bring in some additional business, provides training for your staff, especially if you've got new staff at the beginning of the season, and likely create new loyal visitors. And for parks, like a lot of other state-funded entities, sometimes financial resources can be quite limited. So this might give you an opportunity to invite your supporters to a special curated event where they can bring a friend to learn more about the efforts being done to sustain or regenerate areas of the park. And this could increase awareness of donation opportunities and increase the number of supporters. All right, so we talked about a few different benefits. Another one is increased revenue opportunities. So small group tours might be offered during slower periods, whether it's a certain day of the week, maybe it's just in the mornings or on like during your shoulder season. It can kind of help fill in those gaps, those less busy times, while also increasing exposure to those that were visiting as part of those small groups. So even though your per person rate could be lower, that added volume and that added spending should make up for the difference. And then private tours can often be perceived as luxury offerings, so allows businesses to charge a higher price. If it's a private tour, customers are likely willing to pay more for that exclusivity, that personalized attention that these tours provide. And this premium pricing model can significantly boost your overall revenue. Dynamic pricing, I know, has become such a thing for all entities, not just the airlines, not just the hotels. So that could even boost it more, especially if it's during high demand season. And then it provides you with those upselling opportunities through additional services or products. Private tours open the door to upselling various add-ons that might enhance the customer experience. It could be exclusive access to restricted areas, personalized souvenirs, or premium amenities. For restaurants, it might look like cooking classes, wine dinners, or wine tastings with the winemaker. Attractions, maybe you have like a corporate buyout, or again, like first runs if you've got a new ride. And then for parks, it could be guided wildlife tours or even sunset hikes. I know a lot of places will offer that, like a private sunrise hike on January 1st. So you get to see like the first sunrise of the year, which is pretty cool. All right. It also can offer a competitive advantage. It gives you that differentiation. Offering these specialty tours will certainly help you stand out amongst the competition. Or if somebody is considering various options, but you offer a private or more personalized approach, they may choose you over something even completely different just because you've got the private tour. It can really enhance that strong brand reputation. Catering to the needs of diverse groups can also enhance your brand reputation. You'll be seen as a caring, engaged entity that will likely resonate with audiences. And it also might attract a niche market. Those allow us to dive into our own passions. Maybe we run a museum and our passion is printmaking or painting. And this specialized offering can allow us to connect with our own people, so to speak. Sip and paints have become very popular. I worked at a small fishing lodge, and we used to open up our restaurant on Monday nights when we typically were closed, and we would have a local artist come in. Everybody would get a glass of wine, and typically the bar would do really well that night. And then we also would just have a really fun evening. And it was just kind of a great social opportunity and something that our owner really enjoyed. It also contributes to repeat business. Unique experiences can fuel repeat business. Maybe it's something that is only offered once a month, but you gain a really loyal following. And then these loyal followers will likely become ambassadors. These are the best. They are genuinely selling you and your business and your offerings and just your brand on your behalf. And that's probably the most valuable form of marketing, as I'm sure a lot of you can attest to. And then this also gives you that opportunity to really customize your visitors' needs, whether it's a diverse audience. So, it's going to generally attract a larger audience if you're offering something new. So whether it's by age, accessibility, family makeup, you could also look at attracting international visitors or those that speak multiple languages, if the tours are given in other languages, depending on the interest level. If you have the capabilities to offer like a virtual experience, you might find that those that are unable to travel will still become your ambassadors for unique experiences like VR. And then with culinary experiences, you can cater to specific dietary restrictions that will allow everyone to have a meaningful experience. I know for me, I've been trying to reduce my sugar intake, so I'm always looking for sugar-free that doesn't have weird chemicals in it, of course, or just things that are a little bit more natural without the added sugar. So just one example. And then finally, there may be opportunities to cater to seasonal travelers. For example, I know people are really into Halloween right now, or at least getting into Halloween themed events. I know I'm a Christmas person, so anything that's Christmas themed, these are likely to attract a loyal group of visitors who crave those specific experiences. All right, well, let's look at some inspiration now from others. For those of you who are familiar with Grandfather Mountain, that's kind of in Kara and my neck of the woods up in the mountains. And they started offering this a few years ago called Grandfather Glows. It's so cool. Synchronous fireflies, and these are habitat specialists that thrive in northern hardwood forests, such as those found at Grandfather Mountain. So it's a special event. They sold out like in the first hour when they first did this. And basically people can go up to the top of Grandfather Mountain and watch the synchronous fireflies. So just a cool, private, curated experience that really has drawn in a lot of interest. Another one that I'm sure everybody's familiar with is Christmas at Biltmore. And this is from their website, an experience like no other. A Yuletide visit to Biltmore is a feast for the senses featuring fragrant wreaths, glittering garland, and the sparkle of thousands of ornaments from the Biltmore House. So just for fun, and this really is just for fun, I got on their website to see what type of availability they had. I looked at just a Saturday in December and try to book it. Well, I didn't try. I just put in the tickets for my family and I. So for the four of us, it was going to be about $1,700, I think, to do like the really cool tour. I didn't book it. I wanted to leave that availability for others. But just interesting to see where that has come and where it is today for something like this. There really are some great opportunities to find those niche markets of people looking for that ultimate Christmas experience. And then finally, one more inspiration from others is the Angus Barn, which I believe is in the Triangle area. I think it's Raleigh or Durham. They offer these private cellar dinners. And so they open up this special area. They offer private culinary experiences for businesses, private parties, wine tastings, and special occasions. So again, just another example here of somebody that is doing some really cool things that they've figured out how to do it. I used to work at Chateau Resort, and when our buffet went away because of COVID, we had a room that was typically where the buffet was, and so we made that a wine room. Even though it didn't come to fruition, the idea was that we would do private chef dinners in that specific room. So just some ideas to share with everybody to I'm sure you can tailor it to your specific business. All right, so let's kind of wrap things up here as we get to our to the end here. So some key takeaways, small group tours, private experiences certainly offer a number of opportunities for a variety of tourism businesses like museums, restaurants, attractions, and parks. It offers valuable benefits that can often be overlooked, whether it is enhancing the guest experiences, creating a team of loyal ambassadors, increasing those revenue opportunities, and offering competitive advantage and customizing diverse visitor needs. It can be easy to get started, even if it's just something simple like once a month, or even on a slower day, just to see if you've got some interest in it. You can certainly look at what others are doing to find some inspiration and then just make it your own. And then, of course, Karen and I are available to either help brainstorm some ideas or even give you some tips on how to enhance or raise awareness of what you're looking at getting into. So we can certainly stick around to answer some questions or set up a time to be able to work with you on getting some ideas out there. Well, thank you all so much for joining us. As always, we'll stick around for a few minutes if anybody else wants to hang out or ask questions or schedule a time with us. And yeah, we appreciate it. And we will see you next Monday. Have a wonderful week. And as always, thank you for letting us be a part of Uplift that can share some great information with you.